For me, it was doing a lot of in-person stuff. Over the phone, I was not very good, but I excelled at open houses. Once somebody sees my presentation, they say, "Oh, okay, he's a younger person, but he presents well. He knows what he's talking about. He does his due diligence." Then it became a lot easier. Then people got over the whole, "Oh, this is his age" thing, and it became more of a, "What does he know? How can he help me?" thing. And that was what ultimately allowed me to grow. So definitely knowing your stuff on hand, being that hyperlocal expert, knowing every single city, what subcategory of every city has to offer, when the train rolls by, how often they blare their horn, will you hear it being a mile away, stuff like that.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Beau Ramirez, who does sales at 10 Stars Property Management. He's a realtor, and he works with a lot of first-time home buyers, and he has a very specific niche within this real estate industry. So I'm excited to get into it. Thank you for being here, Beau.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Amazing. So let's go to the beginning. When did you fall in love with real estate? How did you get into it?
Man, I probably fell in love with real estate the same way everybody else did. I watched a couple episodes of HGTV and I was sold.
That's all it took.
Definitely. But I will say it was not long in the business where I realized, wow, this is not like TV. It's not easy. This is actually a lot more difficult. It's not what it seems. And I guess the drive to beat that and still win was always in me. So I got past that phase and eventually just started as a single agent, doing really well, having a couple partnerships and mentors, and later falling into doing real estate for 10 Stars.
That's amazing. And what did that look like in the beginning? You see stuff on TV, you're expecting it to go a certain way, and then maybe it doesn't go as planned. How did you handle that and keep with it?
So the first realization is, why would somebody at the age of 19, why would I trust somebody at the age of 19 to sell my $2.3 million home, right? I had no real direction. My family doesn't come from a real estate sales background. So it was learning from the mentors, going to the brokerage that I worked at the time, trying to overcome major objections, and just persevere past, oh, this guy's a kid. Why would I trust him versus somebody who's a lot older? But I eventually found what worked for me, and just dialed in and kept focusing and excelling at that one thing, and it allowed me to be pretty successful as a single agent.
How did you kind of overcome that? Because I feel like that is a big obstacle to overcome.
For me, it was doing a lot of in-person stuff. Over the phone, I was not very good, but I excelled at open houses. Once somebody sees my presentation, they say, "Oh, okay, he's a younger person, but he presents well. He knows what he's talking about. He does his due diligence." Then it became a lot easier. Then people got over the whole, "Oh, this is his age" thing, and it became more of a, "What does he know? How can he help me?" thing. And that was what ultimately allowed me to grow. So definitely knowing your stuff on hand, being that hyperlocal expert, knowing every single city, what subcategory of every city has to offer, when the train rolls by, how often they blare their horn, will you hear it being a mile away, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, being the micro expert, I really like that. I think that's really important.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And, as you kind of started with 10 Stars Property Management, what did that look like? How did you end up working with them?
Yeah, so I came to 10 Stars actually to become a property manager, right? I was like, hey, I'm not really sure I want to do real estate anymore, but I like the idea of property management, 9 to 5. When the job is done, I get to go home and not worry about anything. And when I met with the CEO and the head of business development, we ran through a bunch of numbers. We had 3 different meetings over the course of about 4 hours. Um, and then it was like, hey, here's what we do. Here's what we lose monthly in sales between landlords and tenants. I looked at the number and said, where do I sign? It was kind of like a no brainer, especially with having the 10 stars credibility of, hey, this is an already great service. Now, the real estate side of things and the sales side of things is just an extension of that great service. It allows me to help people, like truly help people without that initial friction.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't know that that could be like a subset of the property management company. So that kind of like reinvigorated your love for being a realtor, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
So
a, I would just say the culture is great as well. I don't want to be anywhere and work anywhere where I'm not happy. And everybody in the office, CEO down to, the maintenance guys, just all good personalities, great. Everyone has time to answer questions. We're all here to just help each other out and do the right thing with for the landlords, for the tenants, and with each other. So it's really nice.
amazing. So kind of walk through how you work with landlords and tenants and how you work with first-time homebuyers.
Absolutely. So I'm always marketing to the tenants. We'll have a month-to-month email go out just saying, hey, this is a market update. Here's an example of where you might be able to benefit. Here's a piece of knowledge, piece of information. And then I'm doing first-time homebuyer webinars for the tenants. And then I have Facebook ads running. So tenant will say, hey, my lease is coming up, or we offer a zero cancellation fee as long as we represent you in the transaction. So if the 6 months through their 1 year lease, they could cancel at no fee, and I will represent them in getting them being first time home buyers. Uh, so it's usually a pretty smooth process. Once again, it's front loading the education and expectations so that on the backside they're well prepared for whatever situation happens, because nothing's really the same. Every transaction's a little bit different. Every
Right.
situation's a little bit different. So setting the expectation for the tenants, and then when landlords are saying, what does the market look like? I don't know if I want this property anymore. Can I offload it? Can I do a 1031? That's where I would step in and say, yeah, here's what we can do. Here are the foreseeable problems. Here's what we could probably fix now. We'll get the home sold in estimated these amount of days. And then we have all the resources between 1031 companies, title companies, inspectors, whatever. We just have all the resources pretty much in-house. Most of it will be in-house. So if somebody wants to do a 1031, we'll sell the house, do the 1031, help them buy the next one. And that's pretty much all me. I'll be the gopher, go find this, go find that.
A really interesting model. I mean, it makes so much sense. It's very seamless for the tenant as well, because I feel like that's really nice that they have that built-in support that they don't have to seek out.
Absolutely. And I'm always available. I've had people say, hey, I'm not looking to buy for the next, 3 to 5 years, but I have questions about this one property in my neighborhood, or if I could buy the property that I'm currently residing in. And it's pretty rare, but every so often we'll get somebody that wants to buy the house that they're renting from. And once both parties are on board with it, it's very smooth lease to own or just outright purchase. And it saves everybody time. It's one shot deal. I'm in communication with everyone at all times, and the sale gets done, no problems at all.
Wow. Such, I mean, a win-win-win across the board. Everybody,
Exactly.
is benefiting from that.
That's the goal.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And you probably work with people over the course of a long time. Like, people are probably, as you said, they're just thinking about buying a home, and maybe they're just wanting more information and they're not ready to break their lease yet. And it's, you guys, you foster a pretty safe environment where people feel comfortable in their lease, and they don't feel the need, probably to rush. That must be rewarding too. Really help people through that process.
Absolutely. I would say that when people get into real estate and they say, "Oh, I'm doing this to help people," yes, but you really only reap that benefit of helping them at the end of the transaction, after you've gone through the initial friction, after you gain their trust throughout the transaction. But at 10 stars, once again, we're already a great service. This is now just an extension of that already great service. So people come to me, they're honest, they're not gatekeeping, they're not shady. It's full transparency. They have every right to tell me, hey, I still want to move forward with this. Hey, I want to back out. Hey, I'm not interested anymore. And it's never oh man, I'm going to lose the commission. I have to sell them and get them
Right.
back on board. It's great. Let me know when you're ready, and I'm here for you. So
Yeah.
it's a lot less friction for them, a lot less friction for me. And at the end of the day, throughout the transaction, they're very happy because they get certain benefits, certain perks, especially if they partner with our in-house partnerships. We just perks up on perks on perks. So it's good for them.
Yeah.
It's definitely
So
good for
it's
them.
a really great model. It really is. And what are some things that you see with first-time home buyers? What are maybe some misconceptions that a lot of people you're seeing repeated over and over?
I would say the biggest two are going to be down payment, right? Oh, I need that 20% down payment, or my credit score is a little low and I can't get a loan. I always say talk to the lender. It's very simple. Talk to the lender. FHA, you need 3.5% down. I've seen some conventional loans where they say if you put 1% down, the lending company will match 2% to give you a 3% down payment. Each lender has their own program. So what I do is I have a network of lenders. We have some in-house people too with creative financing options like lease to own, where the bank will actually purchase the home. And instead of it going to the owner, it'd be a normal transaction. Now you're just renting from the bank. Eventually, we'll purchase the home from the bank. Um, so each lender has their own special niche, their own special program that they have, and then whatever the tenant needs, whatever the first time home buyer situation looks like, I won't tell them to go there, but I'll suggest, hey, here are probably the top people who could help you out. Call them, talk to them about X, Y, and Z, and they will be able to guide you in the best direction. Because I'm not a mortgage professional. I'm the realtor, but I know that these people are vetted. They are good at what they do. They have moved mountains for me in the past, and they're the people I want to work with. They're easy to work with. They're fun. They make things seamless. They're knowledgeable, and they could pull us out of a rut if push comes to shove. 2 days before closing. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. I think a lot of people let misconceptions about finance get in the way of them purchasing a home. I think that's very, very common.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And so, as you help people through these first purchases, what are some other things you see? Like, what do you want more people who are buying a home to know? Like, through the process, what makes it easier?
Um, So one of the things that I'll do to set the expectation ahead of time is that not every transaction is super smooth, and that every transaction has its own unique road bumps. It's never a problem unless it's too late, right? If some major problem happens and we're 1 week into under contract and they have a problem with the loan, it's not a problem. As long as the lender communicates that to me, as long as I communicate that to the first time home buyers, as long as we're able to find a solution before it's too late. And even if it is too late, maybe in that situation, we can write an extension to the contract. let's have enough time. There's always a solution for things, and it's never really a problem. But for somebody who's not experienced in this, they might see one little thing and freak out. And it's not something to freak out about. It's more of something that allow me to handle it. We'll be in communication and I'll solve that problem as it is. And if there's no solution, absolutely no solution, even after I've reached out to multiple resources and multiple other people who can help with that problem, if there's absolutely no solution, then let's do the right thing here. Let's, stop the bleeding as it is and move on to the next one or move on in another direction.
Right. Right. I think you're bringing up something really important because I think that there's, especially with first time home buying, there's so many obstacles that people just take as like, I'm not going to do it. Like it's a dead end when it's not a dead end. There's a lot of creative solutions, and partnering with someone like you, I'm sure you can guide them through the process very well.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I think another roadblock that really prevents people from entering the market right now is the market itself, and people are very unclear about where we're headed. I would love for you to talk about kind of your perspective on the market and is it a good time, to buy?
Yeah. So for first time home buyers, ChatGPT will only go so far in what it tells you and how accurate the data is and everything like that. So ChatGPT is a great resource, but it's not everything for first time home buyers. Although I know a lot of them will look towards that app to supplement them with the proper knowledge. But as far as the real estate market goes, I mean, we can only look at what the big dogs are doing, right? If the Fed's saying, hey, we're going to lower interest rates come September 16th or 17th, we're going to, try to lower them over the course of all of 2026, all of 2027, get interest rates back down to 3%, then we could look at that and say, okay, there's a foreseeable future, but what do the prices of homes look like? What does the everyday person, the everyday homeowner say to that? Is it great? Will it fire the market back up? It may. Will it actually not move at all because home prices are still too high? It may. At the end of the day, we don't have that crystal ball to be able to tell the future of saying, hey, it's going to be successful in 1 year. If you're not happy with the offers you're getting today, take it off market. We'll try again next year. It'll be way better. That's over promising. And if the market doesn't perform the way you expect it to perform, then it looks really bad for you. So I always just say we can look at it today and make our judgment based off today, because even in a year, right? If you're asking me questions about today, I'm going to give you the today answer.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, I feel like the more you wait, the more you second guess it, and there's never a perfect time to enter the market.
Yeah. It's you can't time the market. And if you could, there'd be well more billionaires in the world,
Right,
well
exactly.
more millionaires.
Yeah, I think that owning property is always, for the most part, a good investment. So, yeah, I think that's great. And then how do you work with these landlords and the tenants? How do you work on the other side of acquiring properties?
Acquiring properties for landlords.
Yeah, or for
Well,
for ten-
yeah, I mean, it's very simple, right? What category or what criteria do you have for your style of investing? I've worked with some people where they say, "Oh, I like to own condos," right? So we'll go out and find them a really cheap condo. They say, "Oh, I want it turnkey." May not be that cheap, setting the expectations once again. I just did a transaction where this guy sold his condo and he purchased a duplex. This is the first time he's ever getting into multifamily. So what does that mean? Starting with that process, explaining it to him, it's not as scary as you think.
yeah.
We will manage everything for you. The asset will be managed exceptionally, but getting him the deal is really it. So if somebody is comfortable with walking away from a deal at the price and give an offer and then they're willing to walk away from that, if it's not accepted, they are in the best position as a
Mm,
landlord,
yeah.
because at that point you're not living in the home. The numbers just need to make sense. So if I find you three properties where it makes sense, you're willing to walk away from all of them, but we put in the right price, the right offer for that property, break down the seller and the listing agent over the course of 2 weeks to 8 weeks. There's a good chance we could get you that property. You
Yeah.
know, so um, don't fall in love with the deal. Fall in love with the idea of making money on the deal.
Yeah, definitely two different muscles working with a first-time home buyer where it's so emotional, and then maybe somebody where it's, it's more about numbers.
I mean, to be honest with you, I would even say it's more emotional at the landlord side because this is their income.
Yeah, yeah,
This is their money versus somebody who's living there, full time as a retail buyer. Um, so sometimes it could be a little bit more emotional on the landlord side, but it's definitely unique if you've never heard that before.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you've given so much great advice to first-time home buyers, and I think that, again, the model that you're working in, it's really interesting. To kind of wrap it all up, what would be a piece of advice that you wish you learned earlier in your career that you can share with us?
A piece of advice, just as a whole, or
Yeah, just
for
like, yeah, with like as you've been building your career in the real estate industry, what's, something you wish you learned a little earlier?
I would say there's always a solution to everything
Yeah.
as long as you're properly prepared, right? I think it was Abraham Lincoln said, if you give me 3 hours to cut down a tree, the first 2 hours I'm going to use to sharpen the axe. And I mean, that is the most valid point I've ever heard. If you have the proper resources, if you do your due diligence on the front side, the back side is going to be super easy.
Yeah. No, I think that's great advice. It's definitely an industry where a lot of stuff can go wrong. Well, it's probably different every single time. Yeah. Well, tell everyone where to find you.
Yeah, so you could find me here in Tampa, Florida. We're in Pinellas Park. You could reach me at area code 813-450-9229 or catch me on Instagram or Facebook at Homes. And you'll see every so often. I'm trying to get better at posting that content, but we're doing it every day, trying to get a little bit better.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here, Beau.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Yes. And thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you learned a lot, and we will see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.